Welcome. In some denominations, you'd make a trip to the pastor's study for answers to the really tough questions. Well, let's see what we can do here. Merry meet. Blessed be. Welcome to Midweek in a very different pastor's study. And I guess if there is a very different pastor in the world, it's me. Depending on where you're coming from and how you know me, I'm Iden Odinson or Bishop Cal Lippitt. And either way, welcome to my study. I had here, and it's still here, it's going to be here, a very nice little outline of what I was going to talk about today. And something else happened. I'll use that another time. I got a few things that I'd love to talk about, and there's going to be more developing as time goes on, I know. But a couple of things happened, and I think it's time to say something about it. And I can't wait for the day on the calendar when most people flap their jaws on the subject, usually with insincerities. Because I have a friend who may be dying who is in very much need of prayers. He is Lady Stormy's, one of Lady Stormy's oldest friends. As a matter of fact, I guess you could say he's her foster brother, because they were both brought up by the same man, who had a habit of taking in young people who had some problems. Needless to say, Lady Stormy turned out pretty good. I'm very happily married to her. Joe Reed was another matter. Joe Reed one time had everything going for him, including a very nice scholarship, going to college, finished high school, and unfortunately, as happened to many, the thrill of college athletics got in the way of his academic pursuits, and the next thing he knew, he had an induction notice. He and I are the same age, and so I know what an induction notice can mean. I know that that's the reason I went into the ROTC, and I studiously avoided any distraction that would keep me from that. But be that as it may, he took it as his duty and proud to do it. His country called, and he did honorably and quite well. And some of the jobs that he did over there were ones that were not everybody who got to peel potatoes on KP got to do those jobs. Let's put it that way. He was an excellent soldier. He also was an excellent family man and an excellent worker and a brilliant mind. You go with him in the grocery store, I can tell you this. You didn't need to bring a calculator along. He was a calculator. And by the time you got done with your shopping, he would tell you exactly how much money to have ready at the check stand. Yeah. He had a wife and daughter. He came back from Vietnam and his wife left him, took their daughter, and to this day he doesn't know where they are. Can you imagine not knowing where your daughter is? Or even as many years as it's been, what her name is now? Can you imagine that? Being shunned and receiving outright disdain from people who had once been friends of his. And why? Because he served over there. I know that feeling. I know what it was like to hear somebody say that they hope that the Viet Cong capture me and hold me for war crimes. I know what it's like to have various things said about me just because I'd served over there, even though I shuffled papers in Thailand. Well, there but for the grace of the divine go I. And he decided to drop out. He lived on the streets from then on, not too often having a regular place to live. He maintained friendship with Lady Stormy and later on with me. And we became good friends, and for a while he lived in this house. Alcohol and some other factors of living life in the streets took their toll. We got the phone call the other day, just a couple days ago, that his body is basically in the process of shutting down. His kidneys have shut down. He's been on dialysis for a while now. His liver is pretty much quit. And a respirator is doing the breathing for him. What I would really like right now is a miracle. Especially so that he could at least have some time to do some reconciling, like with his family. I have a feeling he knows where some of them are. But he won't tell us. But I'm asking for prayers for him. I'm asking for prayers for a miracle. And while we're at it, this July 4th is a good day to remember your country, whichever it is. Mine is the United States of America, although you'll see behind me that I do not forget my mother's ancestry. She was Norwegian. And the people who stood for it. The people who stood up for their countries. Even when it wasn't very popular. And let's have some offerings for them, at least of prayer. I don't care the name of the deity you call upon. They're all listening right now. Not that they told me, but I think it reasonable to assume they're all listening right now. And they'll be happy to hear from you. And I'll see you this weekend at the Secrets in Plain Sight and Church Back Home. And I'll see you back here next week. Blessed be. This has been a presentation of the Wise Ones Net. Merry part and blessed be.